I'm a certified QuickBooks expert, and I'm going to show you how to write a check in QuickBooks. To write a check in QuickBooks, you can either use your keyboard, if you know the shortcut, or use your mouse. To use the keyboard, you press Control W. You cannot see me doing it, but you press Control W, Control plus W, and then the check window pops up. Well, let's assume you don't know the shortcut and you want to use the mouse. So let's close this window. You go to banking, the banking menu, and press on the banking, and with the drop down menu, you see write checks, and you see the shortcut next to it. So you can memorize it, and next time you can use it. You select that, and then the same check window pops up. So you want to write a check, and our check number is 106 right now, but let's keep it that way, or we can change it if we think the check number is 108. So QuickBooks continues with the check number wherever you got to. So what day are we writing the check? We're writing the check today. So we click here and we select 19th of November, 2021. Who are we writing the check to? So assuming we are paying for rent. So you can either search for the vendor's name, or you can use the drop down arrow here to scroll down until you find it. But the easiest way is to search for it. And we know it's rent. So we're going to type renter, and then the PowerPoint renter pops up. That is the vendor I want to pay to. So I select that, and the address populate here with everything. Notice it says utility expense here. And that is because I probably have made some payment with this vendor using utility expense. But we can change it if that's not the amount we want. Okay, but we will get there later. So how much do we want to pay? Want to pay for, assuming 2,500. That's a lot of rent, but 2,500. So notice once I click here, or once I select the amount, this 2,500 will populate here. So I click there, and then the 2,500 appears here. But I want to change the name of the account. Okay, I don't want it to go to utility expense. I want it to go to renter expense. So I'm going to highlight this and type in renter. So I get my rent expense here. Okay, so I'll write a check, and the expense will go to rent expense, which will reduce my income. Now, the memo is up to you, however you want to describe the check. So let's say paid for, let's say, November renter or November rent. Okay, so you can copy and paste it here. So we've paid for November rent, and once you're done, you can use save and new. You use save and new if you are going to write another check, or save and close if you're done, if that's the only check you are writing. So I'm going to go ahead and click save and close. So yeah, now QuickBooks records my check in QuickBooks. So that is how you write a check. But assuming we are writing a check for a vendor who is not in our system, we just bought from a vendor and we are paying with a check. So this is how we're going to do. We're going to go through the same process. Go to banking or Control W. So banking, we select it, and then the check window appears, and you can see here our previous check number was 108. So QuickBooks assume your next check will be 109. We are writing this on the same day, which is November 19th. Now, who are we paying to? The person we are paying to isn't in our system. Okay, we just bought from the vendor and we are paying with cash, which is unusual, but we are doing that. So we're going to use the drop down arrow, and then because the vendor is not in the system, we are going to create a new vendor. So add vendor, and QuickBooks asks you, is it a vendor? Yes, it's a vendor. So we select OK. And then we're going to put the name here because this person doesn't have a company name. So we want just the name, and we want to use his name as his company name. So we're going, let's say Elizabeth, let's just make up a name, Elizabeth Osley. And then when we click here, the name populates vendor name, and then the name comes here. And then let's use the address. Let's type in the address 2104, say, let's just make up something. This is fictional. in Birdsville. E2705. Okay. And then we're going to click. We don't have to worry about this if we don't have any payment terms or tax setting with the vendor. Okay, we just want to create a generic vendor name and vendor option. So we select OK, and then it populates here. This vendor we bought office supplies from. Okay, so let's assume the office supplies were $750. Okay, so we click $750, and then once I click here, the same amount, 750, will populate here. So 750 here. Now QuickBooks want me to select which account I want the expense to go into. And this is a prepaid asset. So we're going to type in office supplies expense. So we have office supplies expense here. And as you notice, QuickBooks write the amount in words. So you don't need to worry about if you're writing a physical check, you have to write it. But here, we just populate it and write it for you. So I'm just going to, with the memo, as I said, it depends on how I write. It's up to you. So let's say purchase supplies. So I just purchase supplies with amount of 750. And if I want to, I can copy and paste and put the same memo here. The memo just helps you know what you wrote the check for. Okay. What I can do is I can print later, or I can leave that, to let go, or I can print it. I can print check when I'm done writing it. Okay. So here I'm going to save and close because that's the last check I'm writing. I'm not going to write any check anymore. So save and close. Okay. So yeah, that is how you write a check in QuickBooks. So easy. If you have anything you want me to do a video on, feel free to comment in the video, in the comment section below.